Creepers left to rise, buzz like crazy. Everybody's trying to stem my lady. Spiders in the mirror and things can't be right. Back to the scene of a Friday night, to a blessed collision still frozen tight. Spear drinkers, Cupid and the sound of her first chime. And why did you argue? We're dreaming of the...
Well, hello there, friends. It's time for another vlog. Hooey. So, yeah, I just felt like doing a quick little weekend vlog. I like to have vlogs posted on Monday, and I have fallen behind pre-filming my videos. I have one video pre-filmed that I filmed like way back in August that I have never posted because I don't feel like it's a good reflection of my current reading taste. It was an unpopular opinion video, and most of the books I talked about are YA books because I was kind of toying with the idea of, I guess it was mostly because I really wasn't vibing with the YA books. I don't know why. That's just, I had strong opinions about some YA books I didn't like. So if you'd like to see that as a bonus video, let me know and I'll post it, because it's all edited and scheduled. I just never posted it because I don't know why. Anyway, it's a vlog. It's Friday. This is going to be just a little weekend vlog. So we're going to go Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're just going to take you along with me as I live my life and talk about the books that I'm reading. So I have some books that I'm reading that I'm pretty excited about. I honestly literally have thought that it's like the 20th of January for like the last few days, and I did not realize February is Monday. What? So I don't have a TBR video planned for February filmed yet. I need to film that. I have a hair in my eye. I'm just rambling. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm rambling. This is a weekend vlog. Hi, welcome to my channel. We're just going to chat. We're going to ramble. We're going to have some drinks. We're going to talk about books. We're going to probably lift some weights, and we're going to hug Kazi and eat some food. And that's pretty much all that I put in my vlogs. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I'm being weird. It's just how I am. Anyway, reading update. So for the weekend, I have some plans to, I'm for sure going to read Dreaming of You by Lisa Kleypas. I just barely started this. I put a call out on Instagram that said if you wanted to be in a little weekend buddy read group with me, let me know and I will add you. So me and some friends are reading this on Instagram this weekend. I am only one chapter in. The chapters are pretty long in this. And today's chapters are to get here. This is where I'm supposed to read through chapter 4 today. I'm real excited about this. This was in my most recent 5-star predicted reads video, and I just have a feeling I'm gonna freaking love this book a whole lot. I've heard a ton about Derek Craven. I feel like so many people love that hero, and I really, I don't know, like, I'm not gonna lie, my expectations are high, so hopefully that's true. I have recently been reading more Lisa Kleypas again, and I just am so in love with her books. Like, this will come as no surprise if you have read Lisa Kleypas, obviously. She's popular for a reason. Her books are just so beautiful and so well done, and I feel like even if sometimes the plot points don't hit me the same way, I feel like every single time I read one of hers, I'm pretty much just transported, and it's such a beautiful, luxurious romance reader experience, I feel like. So yeah, if you are new to historical romance, I would really recommend giving her a try because I just really love her so much. So this book is, I believe this is in like the Gamblers of Craven series. Is that what it is? I think there's 2 books in the series. I think it's Then Came You, and then this one. I'm trying to see where Then Came You. I believe that's the other one. Isn't that right? I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong. I get on here and I say stuff and then I check it and I'm like, yeah, that wasn't right. So this book follows Derek Craven, who is like this big elite gambler, bad guy, made man type of thing. And he is caught one night. Well, he isn't caught, but one night he is injured by some men who are out to get him. And there is a woman there who is doing research for a book she's writing. She's a writer, so that's super fun to see a woman with a career in a historical romance. And she's trying to go in to visit Derek Craven to get some more research for the book she's writing. But when she's there, she sees these two men who are going to attack Derek, and so she has a little pistol with her, and she shoots at one of the guys who's going to attack Derek, and that's how it all starts out. So that's pretty much all that happens in the first chapter. We learn a little bit of background about Derek. We learn a very little bit about Sarah, the heroine, but it's a very explosive, very entertaining first chapter, and I'm pretty much totally hooked. So I'm really loving this a lot. I'm excited to be reading this with friends. So that is the big plan. That's going to be finished by Sunday, so I'll have my total final thoughts on that, which I'm excited about. And then I also have been in a really big fantasy romance reading mood, and I just recently finished a Grace Draven book, which I didn't really love. I did love, it wasn't Radiance. Radiance was the first book I read from her, and I loved it. That's one of my favorite books. I just think it's such a beautifully done fantasy romance. I love it so much. So I wanted to pick up another one of her books because I just love her writing style. I love her fantasy worlds. But I'm hoping that the romance in this lives up to what was in Radiance, and so I picked up Phoenix Unbound. I am only 2 chapters into this. The chapters are shorter in this, but I hope, oh my gosh, there's a hair on my freaking eye. I hope to be able to finish this weekend too, because I actually have the audio from my library and it's due back soon, so hopefully going to listen to this and finish this too. So this is mostly my reading plans for sure. These are going to happen. I also am reading Lord of Londontown on my Kindle. I have this from Kindle Unlimited. I believe that this one was recommended to me by Jen last seen in a bookstore on Instagram when I put a call out for Haiti and Persephone retellings. And this isn't a direct Haiti and Persephone retelling, but this is sort of like a dark romance. I think there may be like mafia, maybe not mafia or mob, or I don't know. There's some type of dark criminal thing. And she said that it had Hades and Persephone vibes. So I'm going to read that, and I'm really hopeful that I love it. So I don't know if I will get all 3 of those read. I don't know. Maybe these 2 for sure I think will happen, but who knows what else I'll read. I don't know. Maybe that's all I read. But we're going to just take you along with this journey of a weekend reading vlog. And yeah, I already had my tea for the day. So now we're going to have... Don't mind me. I'm new here. This is my first day. I'm just kidding. Come on. So we're going to have some kombucha, which I just spilled all over. Now my art table is going to smell like vinegar. Yep. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's totally fine. This is not chaotic at all. This is probably one of my favorite flavors. This is the strawberry. It looks like a brown red, which is not very appetizing. But it's pretty tasty for kombucha. It's still not delicious. So anyway, that's what's happening here. I'll let you all in on how I can't talk today. I'll be back when I have more to talk about.
Strangers in disguise. When the sun is going to stretch its arms on the road, turn as it can with his shrill call into perfect strangers in disguise. But until then,
hello friends! Today is Saturday. I literally didn't vlog anything else yesterday. I was so busy working and getting ready for my shop update for my little sculptures that that's all that took up my whole day. So I do have a reading update, however. Reading Dreaming of You. That's not correct. I am on chapter 5. I just finished chapter 4. So I'm like the third of the way through with it, And I've been listening to the audiobook, but I found that, like, I needed to go back and read it physically in some parts because I was like, what happened now? Like, I don't know. Sometimes I just go through phases where I am having a very hard time focusing on an audiobook, and it's usually when I'm stressed. Like, when am I not stressed? Am I right? Anyways, I am obsessed with this book right now. Like, I feel like this is such an interesting story, and I'm just so impressed with Lisa Kleypas' writing in this. Like, again, I swear, every time I pick up one of her books, I'm just like, wow, that's just so well done, you know? I just love how, like, their whole first meeting, how he's, like, accosted by these two guys who, like, cut his face, and then she shoots at the bad guys, and it's just like... And, like, there's this really... So she's a novelist, she's a writer, and people actually know that she's a writer, and she writes about, like, prostitutes and gambling and, like, the moral sins of the time. And there's a line in here specifically where it says that she likes to write about those types of characters so that they can see the error of their ways. And it's just really interesting. And this whole book really feels like it's going to be this really cool awakening of Sarah, the heroine, and also this awakening of Derek, because it feels like they're on, like, opposite sides right now. Like, she's very innocent, you know, like, there's a conversation here specifically that talks about how I think it's Derek, no, it's Worthy, so Derek's, like, right-hand man, his name is Worthy, like, he is struck with her, and not because she's so beautiful, but because she has this type of innocent beauty, this, like, untouched beauty that he has not seen before in their gambling hall, you know, or at least in a very long time. And Derek notices that about her too, and so I really feel like there's gonna be this really big awakening of her to feel and realize her power. Like, there's so, like, I just feel like this is just full of just gems to talk about and discuss and just love. There's so many lines in here about how she wonders what it would feel like to have the type of beauty that would really tempt men. And then alternately you have Derek, who is saying, like, oh, if she just dressed different or didn't wear her glasses or didn't cover up or do this with her, like, if she didn't wear her hair like that, she would be a great beauty. And I feel like that's such an interesting take to see both of them. Like, she's really wanting to have that appeal to men, and he's really seeing that she has the capability to do that. And it's interesting. So where I'm at now, they have just had this little altercation, Derek and Sarah, where Sarah wanted to go to this ball that Derek is having, and this is a ball where all of the rich, like, debutantes and title lords are going to be there, but they're, well, maybe not debutantes, like, titled, the peerage, but it's like the peerage who is, like, a little bit roguish, like, likes that dangerous side, you know, and sort of lives a life of debauchery. That's who's invited to this ball. And Sarah's like, can I go? Because that would be great research for my book. And Derek's like, no, you can't go. Are you kidding me? You can't come to this. That's, like, completely opposite of what where I want you to be. So she goes to Worthy, and she's like, hey, can I go to this? I'd really like to. So Worthy kind of reluctantly says yes, and so when I left off, she had just gone to, is it Lily? And I believe she's probably in Then Came You, which I believe is the first one. Lily is friends with Derek, and friends, not lovers. Never been lovers, never had love, but have developed this great friendship. Lily is an aristocrat, a really beautiful lady, and she takes Sarah and sort of does a big, huge makeover on her. And Sarah has this really beautiful figure, you know, big breasts, big hips, small waist, and they just emphasize that. They put her in that dress, and she's sent out to the ball, and it's so much fun. Like, I just feel like there's so much in here that is just, like, perfect. And I had this realization the other day, yesterday maybe. I've been thinking about, like, my reading journey and what types of books that I like, and I have always felt really drawn to, like, coming of age story. I feel like that's something that has a lot of appeal to me, and I feel like it has universal appeal, like those YA stories that are specifically coming of age. Like, I just love that. I love that moment. I love following that journey. I love seeing young people awaken into who they're going to be. And I feel like similarly, some of those are my favorite romance novels, specifically historical romance novels, because I feel like they do that so well, where you have either the wallflower or the spinster or maybe the widow or something about this woman who has been really oppressed or has been really suppressed maybe, and the story, finding their romance, it's really a journey of them breaking free of that and realizing their power and realizing their worth and realizing that their life is here for them to choose, to take their chances, to take their happiness. And I just freaking love that so much. Like, I feel like I'm a super, super smart because I had that epiphany. Not really. I don't really think that. But I was like, oh my gosh, I like that. That is a parallel. That is something that I really love. I feel like that's something I really want to figure out more of this year is what is it that really makes a book work for me? Like, what specifically is it? You know, and I feel like I know a lot of things that don't work for me. In my last reading vlog, I talked about that a little bit when I was reading tropes that I hate. So this is interesting for me to look and see, okay, so what really works for me and why, you know? And I feel like a lot of people can relate to that wallflower journey, you know? And so in a way, I would say that Sarah is a bit of a wallflower in here, you know? Also thinking about wallflowers because I just read Secrets of a Summer Night, which is the first wallflower book, and we had a whole discussion with Dana and Kelly. Anyway, it's on my mind, that whole transformative process of letting go, you know, of letting go of what the world or society or your family or your friends or whoever makes you feel like you have to be, and letting go of that and being who you want to be. That is I hope at my funeral people say that about me, that she really was herself, and she was a champion for others to be their self, because that's just something I feel really strongly about, you know? So, I haven't talked at all about the romance, so I definitely feel like that is something that is super interesting in romance specifically, because a lot of times that's the catalyst that makes the heroine or the hero really decide to change and to be who they want to be. And so I feel like it's going to be really interesting to watch Derek, who at this point is pretty much one of my favorite heroes, the favorite type of heroes, in that he's very hard, he's very stern, and he's very, you know, like, doesn't want to love, doesn't have any feelings. The minute he starts to catch feelings for somebody, he, like, sends them away. And he's very intrigued with Sarah. Like, he really, really, really is intrigued with her. And I can't wait. Like, I honestly feel like the first third of this book was so perfectly done, in my opinion. Like, I don't know how you could have a more perfect setup for a passionate, empowering love story. And did I say impassionate? I meant passionate. I don't know. What are words? I can't talk. Anyway. That's a very long clip, but like, this is one of my emergency reads. This is, in case of emergency, break glass, read it. And I don't really feel like I'm having an emergency right now, but, well, maybe I am. I don't know. Not really. But I just wanted to read it, and it's just fantastic. Like, you can feel the sparks and the chemistry, and that's something else that I feel like Lisa Kleypas does so well, is she makes every single gesture and every single interaction between the hero and the heroine so, like, subtle, but so powerful. That's how I feel. I don't know. I just love it. I love it so much. I can't even stand it. So, that's my reading update. I didn't read anything else. That's all I've been reading. I've just been focusing on it, and we've got a little chat group, and I am going to go in there and talk with them about it. So I really wanted to try and internalize it enough so that I'd be able to have a good conversation. So probably everything that you just heard me say, I'm going to say in the chat group right now too. But that's okay. So I think I'm going to pause Phoenix Rising, the Grace Draven book. I have that on audio. I'm just not really in the mood for it right now. I think I'll save that for February, for Faro February. I had the audiobook from my library, and that's why I decided to listen to it, like, because I didn't want it to slip away. But I also just don't feel like reading it right now. So, I don't know. For now, all I'm focusing on is Derek Craven. So, I'm sorry if that is all this vlog is about. It very well might be. But that's okay. What else is new? Also, do you love my Fugly Barbie sweatshirt? I showed you in a previous vlog. I realize you can't hear me like that. But it says, "You have bewitched me, body and soul. Darcy, the best line. Not a book line, but the best line. Am I right?" From the 2005 movie. So, that's all, y'all. That is all that's happening. I'm working for a little bit this morning. I've got a ton of work to catch up on. Oh, do you want to see this cool animal I made? See? It's called a Kirin. So it's like a Japanese unicorn, which is supposed to have aspects of like a deer, a unicorn, and the scales of a carp. So those are fun. Anyway, I'm working today and I need to film some videos. I need to for sure film a TBR. I'll wait to do my wrap up for next week. So I got stuff to do, but I'm gonna keep reading. I'll check in with you in a bit. I'm in this weird spot where I don't know what else I want to pick up. Like, I'm gonna keep reading this for sure. Reading this and tabbing it. And I am about halfway into Grip, so I could finish this. But I also kind of want to read on my Kindle. I'm gonna take a bath. I haven't had a bath in a while. Watch me struggle to turn this on. It's fine. And I want to have something to read that I am real excited about. And I think maybe I want to go with this. Should I? Where's the cover? Maybe. I don't know, man. Also, I'm watching, let's see if it will show, Heather from Hia Booktubes. She's giving adult romance suggestions if you like Throne of Glass, so that sounds good. Hello, my friends. Good morning. It is Sunday, and it's Sunday. I would like to invite you to the first meeting of this special day. It is the first meeting of the Derek Craven fan club. See, I have this official badge. It's official. I'm almost done with this. I have 2 chapters left, I think. And let me just tell you, I'm freaking obsessed with it, honestly. Do you ever, like, put off reading a book because of the hype? Or do you ever, like, get excited about reading a book because of the hype and you know that you're gonna love it? And then you read the book and it like exceeds the hype for you. That is my experience with Dreaming of You. Quite honestly, I am in love with this book. It is probably one of my favorite books of all time. I feel like I'm finding a new favorite book all of the time, but I gotta be real honest with you. I don't feel like they could have built a more perfect romance novel than this. I know, I say that. I've said that before. But just, I'm not kidding, right? I feel like this has so many things that I love in romance. It has a broody hero, a damaged hero. There's so much longing. Like, the way that he longs for Sarah, it's just, it makes me ache the way that he longs for her. It's so beautiful. Like, the way that he I mean, like, we have so many things in here. We have a horseback rescue, okay? Like, I dearly love that. We have a hero who basically stole the heroine's glasses and keeps them in his pocket to hold and remember her when he's not with her. I love this book. I love Derek Craven. He is a fantastic hero. Now, I definitely can understand how people do not like him. I can totally see he's a problematic hero. I don't care. Honestly, I just don't care. Honestly. And that's not to say there's video games going on in there, so that's not to say that I'm excusing anything that's happening in here. I will say this was written in 1994, so, and in general, I'm not holding it to the standards that we expect to happen today. But with that being said, I don't necessarily think, even if this was written today, I would still love this book. I would still love Derek Craven. He is the type of hero, he is the type of alpha hero that I love, because this man is the definition of an alpha male brought to his knees for his woman. He is literally so gone for her. It is a thing of beauty, and I just love it so much. I feel like this is such a beautiful story, too. I mean, you know, like, there's definitely some issues with consent. Okay, I'm just gonna say that right now. So, there's some issues with consent. This is such a hard conversation to have, because when I've read reviews and people bring that up, I'm like, I can see that, you know? But it's not, I'm just gonna end that there. I don't even know how to talk about this, because personally, I love this book, I love this hero, and I feel like there is a big difference for me. I just finished chapter 12. No, I just finished chapter 11, so I still have this much left, which is not very much. But in December, I read The Bride by Julie Garwood, and one of my big complaints with that book was the hero. I just didn't like him. I could not get behind him as a hero. I just didn't like him at all. And one of the main reasons I didn't like him is because from the beginning, when he met her, he said over and over again, I own you, you're my property, things like that. Derek does the same thing in here, not from the minute he meets her, okay? I feel like that's a big distinction I need to make, but Derek does say at times, let's see if I can find it. Derek does say at times in here, you are mine. He doesn't use the words that I can remember. I guess you could do a Google search in here. I don't know. I don't want to talk about that, honestly. I just want to gush about this book. But Derek, when he talks about Sarah, he often says, you're mine. And the thing that makes that work for me in here is because when he says you're mine to her, it's always about, I will take care of you. I will protect you. You don't need to worry about anything, okay? It's not a selfish, I mean it is, but it's not a completely selfish type of thing where he's like, you are my property, I own you. Whereas I feel like personally in The Bride by Julie Garwood, from the get-go, that was about, you're my property, I own you. It was all about him owning her, what that did for him, right? What he could get out of owning her. You know what I mean? So that is, I feel like, a big difference in here, because typically when I hear a hero say something like, and also I'm just gonna say, for me there's a difference when a hero says I own you and when he says you're mine. That's just a complete different use of words, right? And Derek says over and over again that you're mine, and and it is like he wants to take care of her. He wants to treasure her and love her. And he's not just saying that, like, he's showing that in his actions. I mean, once they get together, because for a long time Derek fights it because he feels like she's so much better than he deserves and that he's no good for her, right? The longing. But once they finally get together, like, he just is so, he's so broken and he's just so gone for her. I don't know. I'm just so obsessed with it. I love a hero who just is out of his mind in love with the heroine. And that is exactly what's happening here. I love the story, the whole story of Derek just coming from nothing and having such a damaged past and really rising up and becoming this wonderfully, powerfully rich, self-made man. And I think Christy in our group read said, I think she was the one who said that this was one of the first instances maybe where the self-made hero was a thing. And I just thought, wow, that's so cool. Like, I just feel like, I don't know, Lisa is doing such wonderful work here in that the heroine has a job. And one of the reasons that she was engaged to this other guy, and one of the reasons she sort of leaves the engagement is because he doesn't want her to write books anymore once they get married. And she's like, no, you know, I feel like this book is proudly feminist in a quiet way, in a way that is just so lovely and beautiful, and the way that Sarah, at times, she folds to Derek, but it's all in a way of her choosing. But there are other times, too, where she stands up and she sticks to her guns, and she quietly tells him, like, there's a scene in here towards the end that I just read where he says, what is it that he says? Let me find it. He's talking about, he's getting angry because his rival came and touched her arm or something like that. And he says, I'll teach him to lay a blasted finger on what's mine. And she, very quietly and gently says, I'm not your property. And this line right here, although Sarah's voice was as gentle as always, there was a cool note in it that raised Derek's hackles. Like, she put him in his place by saying 3-4 words, I'm not your property. Like, and it was just like, she wasn't mean about it, she wasn't harsh about it, but she has this power over him that just her disapproval is enough to make him, I just feel like their love story is so beautiful, honestly. And I feel like something in particular about this book, this is probably one of the least, so far, this is probably one of the least steamy books I've read by Lisa, but it is absolutely jam-packed with these real subtle gestures and touches and looks. And I'm going to read you another one. This is just going to be me reading you. It's just so beautiful, you guys. Like, I just cannot. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. So they're talking and he's really upset that he doesn't feel like he's good enough for her. You know, this is a theme, happens often. And she says before she was quite aware of what she was doing, she reached out to the black hair that curled slightly on the back of his neck. At the touch of her hand, he seemed to stop breathing. Muscle flexed beneath her fingertips. She sensed the smoldering beneath his stillness and his battle to keep his emotions closed away. Like, that just gives me chills, and it's beautiful. And those are moments that I love because I feel like there's so much being told with such a tiny, tiny gesture. I love it so much. Like, just, she touches his hair on the back of his neck, and he just like, and it's like full of that. That's something that I love about Lisa's books, is they're just full of those tiny little touches and tiny little looks. Like, so much is said in a gaze, in a glance. I love this. This is my favorite Lisa Kleypas book I've ever read. I adore it. It has been just a complete delight to read this. I am obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with the hero. I'm obsessed with the heroine. I feel like he, in a way, he reminds me of like, I mean, Derek Craven, he's a little problematic. I love him, but he is a little problematic. But he is a better Heathcliff, who is such a damaged, problematic character. Like, but he like gives me those same broody, would do anything, deeply in love, just gone hero like Heathcliff, but like better times 100. So yeah, this whole weekend is basically me gushing about this book because I am obsessed with it, and that's all. You're just gonna have my thoughts about it because I just cannot even believe how much I love it. It's honestly, I mean, like, for me personally, this is a 6-star read. This is beyond 5-star. This is perfection. I love it so much. It's everything that I want, and it's everything that I love. Now, like I said, I feel like if you don't like an alpha hero, and I feel like there are different shades of alpha heroes, right? Because I honestly don't F with a lot of alpha heroes. I just don't like them. I don't like the vibes that most real rough alpha heroes give. I love an alpha mellow, and while he's not necessarily mellow at all, he is that typical classic alpha hero that is, for me, the true definition of an alpha, who is alpha, powerful, dominant, but completely gone for the heroine. And that is my crap. That is my thing. That is mine. I love it. I love it so much. It is fantastic. I don't know what else to say. I have literally done nothing but gush about this book. I love it so dearly. I am ecstatic. This is my favorite read of January, and today is the last day of January. This is my favorite book. I love it so much. Okay. I was going to talk about other books that I read, but I have kind of just been going back through this and just like, hi, I'm obsessed with this. It's fine. That's all. That's all I have to say. So I will come back just to wrap this up and then say goodbye. So I'm sorry I only read one book. It just kind of consumed my life. Also, if you would like to join my fan club, you can make yourself a badge. Anyways, I'll see y'all when I finish it. Well, I finished it. I finished it. 5 stars, 6 stars. This is a 6-star over 5-star. I loved it. Honestly, I loved it so much. I definitely, like, I know on reading reviews, a lot of people say, I've mentioned this before, I understand how if this wouldn't work for you. But for me, this worked perfectly. This was everything that I wanted. This was it. I get the hype. I appreciate Derek Craven, and now I'm all set to celebrate Derek Craven Day. So I can't wait to listen to a bunch of podcasts about this book because I really love the whole breaking down of it and thinking about it, and I just loved it. It's just been, it was so good, you guys. Like, I feel like this is one of those books where I'm like the only person on the planet to not have read it yet, but I loved it so much. Even I just thought it was perfectly. I felt like it was really sweeping. Like, it had so much happening in the story. It had a really grand feeling to it. I felt like the characters were so well drawn out. I loved the quiet strength of Sarah. I loved how strong and alpha and protective Derek was, but also how he completely melted and loved Sarah. The epilogue especially just got to me. I loved it. I loved it dearly. It was fantastic. So there you have it. I was going to have more books read, but I'm going to end this vlog here and just bask in the joy of this fantastic book. Dreaming of You is wonderful. I loved it. So thank you so much for watching, my friends. I hope you enjoyed this vlog, and I will see you in my next one. And if you got this far, please leave me a pink heart. Thank you. I'll see you in my next video.